Candle Coven. We are so excited today because we're doing something a little different on this episode. We're doing a new segment that we're calling the Info Dump, which means we're having guests. We are so excited. We're having our very first guest today. And Alaina, I actually want to just read to you her bio, exactly how she wrote it, because it is so funny. And I think there's a part at the end that I absolutely cracked up at. So, all right. So, Hannah is an LA-based content creator, actor, and podcast host. When she's not oversharing on TikTok, she co-hosts a Gossip Girl podcast called You Know You Love Us. In her free time, she enjoys #bed culture, smut, and putting together outfits to trick herself and others into thinking that she has her shit together. Her self-imposed big three are Martin Short's son, Valerie Cherish Mood, and Bonnie Hunt Rising. Without further ado, we are so excited to welcome Hannah Brown to the Candle Coven podcast.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for having me, Candle Coven. I'm so honored to be here.
We are so excited. So basically, this is a brand new segment for us where we're having on guests to come and talk about their favorite or their most something that's interesting to them or something that's not really talked about or something that is talked about. Just their pop culture topic that they want to just info dump on us.
You know that?
Tell us everything about it, that kind of vibe.
You know that meme of if you ever get kidnapped and you're in a van and you have to convince them to get rid of you, what would you talk about? It's that type of thing.
Right, it's did you know that? Da, 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 da. It's the part in Jerry Maguire.
Yes.
We're gonna have the Jerry Maguire moment, and I'm so excited to talk about it.
Oh my gosh!
But first of all, I have to talk about
the big three.
Your big three, your self-imposed big three.
Oh my gosh!
Because the way you're putting it is, it's I have no choice, but this is the big three.
Right,
and Valerie Cherish.
I love how there's one fictional character as well.
I mean, honestly,
I love her.
I'm probably more of a Valerie Cherish son. There have been times where I've run into someone who's well known that I met either one time or way back in the day, and I've had that Judah, baby girl moment where I scream at them in public and they don't remember me and they're like, hi. So I feel
was it Andy Cohen and RuPaul?
Real.
What?
Andy Cohen and RuPaul at lunch.
Literally. There's that desperation to be liked and accepted and successful that is so Valerie Cherish, and I can't hide it. And then Martin Short is largely from the movie Get Over It, specifically.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
The movie
I love that.
It's starring Kirsten Dunst's boobs.
Yes. Literally, her, Mila Kunis, Cisco. Who's that other guy?
Foster?
Ben Foster.
Is
Martin Short.
I think we got enough of them. That's a good amount.
That's the main crew.
That's the main crew.
Martin Short is good in literally everything.
Is it what's the Shakespeare that it's about again?
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Taming of
Shane West. Sorry, I had to name Shane West.
Shane West.
I mean, sorry, Shane West.
Oh my God. Wait, is he bad?
No, he just makes me sick.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Why?
I just think he's
gross. I have to know what the reason. What it's going to be something
what's teeth related, Jocelyn? It's teeth related. My God.
Teeth related?
I have to.
He has that snaggle tooth.
I have a thing with teeth.
Oh my gosh.
She's projecting. It's projection. It's
everything that I dislike is all projection.
I feel that's just human nature, though.
Yeah, right. As long as we know that.
Yeah,
as long as we know it about ourselves.
I'm a nasty whore. You have great teeth, by the way, Hannah.
Thank you. I had a headgear and braces for 5 years.
You did headgear?
Oh my God, Hannah! I feel so seen by you. I also had the most orthodontic.
Yeah, you both have incredible
I had braces
teeth.
Forever. Well, you know what? We paid the price.
Worth every penny.
We paid worth every penny, girl.
Wait, how many years?
Okay,
sorry.
Go, I want to hear about it. Tell us your orthodontic.
5 years of braces, and then my sister had a chin cup thing because she had an underbite and I had an overbite, and we shared a room, and we would fight.
It's fucking puzzle pieces.
Wait, you're in there in your bedroom, and you got headgear on, and she's got a fucking chin cup? I don't even know if I've ever heard of that.
Those
and so you're both in there. You're in there and you're like, and she's like,
oh my god,
the shit that we went
people
through.
will never know what the backstory behind beautiful teeth.
That's so true.
Wait, so
the trauma.
My sister and I both got palate expanders at the same time, but my poor little sister didn't have her permanent molars, so she had a kind that was bonded, like glued to her teeth, as opposed to like going around the tooth because it would pull them out, right? And they wanted to get her early, and that poor girl could not eat a fucking thing with those plastics. She would literally like eat spaghetti and it would get like stuck in it, and she'd be like, and it was awful.
Was it like Khloe Kardashian with her inside stitches?
Yeah, it's exactly like Khloe Kardashian with her inside.
Oh my god, I haven't watched that far yet in the new season.
You don't even need to.
Yeah, it's neither here nor there. Wait, so speaking of pop culture, like the Kardashians, let's completely just dive right into your info dump. I loved your thesis statement. Should I actually read your thesis statement? I think it like really kind of encapsulates what you're going to talk about today, or did you want to just kind of reiterate it?
Jocelyn. I would love that.
Because I was going to say, Hannah, if you're not like, I know you're a writer, aren't you? Yeah, you are a writer because this was so well written, and I was like,
you reluctantly said yes.
I constantly question
you
it.
are.
I constantly question it, but I feel like
take it on. You are. You gotta live it to believe it. You know.
No, I'm here to tell you that you're a writer.
That's so sweet. You're like Bradley Cooper in Star is Born. Be like, you won't know a secret.
Yeah.
You want to be a writer.
I just want to get another look at you. Okay, wait. I have to read this to you. Okay, sure. Everyone likes Disney. Tell me about it, right? But what about disgraced rebel animator Don Bluth, king of beautiful animated films, including but not limited to The Land Before Time, Rockadoodle, Thumbelina. Remember that bitch? She didn't say that, I did. The Pebble and the Penguin, and All Dogs Go to Heaven. Don Bluth was the man who said, sure, maybe I'm putting a brothel in a kid's movie, but who cares? It's all in good fun. I mean, outfits, songs, and animation was beyond. He managed to get Charo to voice a sexy songstress Toad, and Tim Curry to voice Drake, a villainous penguin who can only be described as Jax Taylor in cartoon penguin form. All this to say, there is a big divide in 80s/90s kids who were into Disney movies versus Don Bluth movies, and it shows. As a self-proclaimed Don Bluth film lover, I'd like to dive into his filmography and discuss why it's simultaneously iconic and fucked.
I love it.
This
is great.
That is so good.
When we read that, I was like, really, that was exciting stuff to read because we had no idea what to expect. I was like, anticipating maybe like a Vanderpump because like that is everywhere all the time. But this was just like, what a fun topic. Great choice.
Amazing.
Thank you. TikTok has revealed to me that I might be neurodivergent. And like when I go on a tangent about Don Bluth, I'm like, I that's when I buy into it the most. I'm like, I think TikTok might be onto something.
I mean, the info dump.
Yes. Right. That's exact. Info dumping is like a neurodivergent term. We're both neurodivergent and we're constantly info dumping. And TikTok has definitely helped us to figure that out.
There's nothing more fun than an info dump about, a niche topic that only certain people are excited about.
Right.
Is there anything better than just connecting with each other over curiosity and information?
Right. And things that we like remember together.
Right? So I want to tell me about your passion for Don Bluth. Like how did you become a Don Bluth versus a Disney gal? Tell us everything. It's very punk to be a Don Bluth gal versus a Disney adult. I gotta tell you, it's cool.
Yeah, that's so nice of you. I was raised on like all of them, and here was the tea. I owned all the Disney movies. I didn't own a lot of the Don Bluth movies. So when I would go to the movie store as a kid, my favorite place, the smell is the best smell. Like, and we're not talking Blockbuster. We're talking like mom and pop, like small town.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
That's
for me. It's the video exchange.
Exactly. Mine was it was Lion Video, and then it was Video Adventure.
Lion Video.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
We had
I love those.
The Video Forum.
The Video Forum. How fancy.
Sophisticated.
So good.
But yeah, so I would rent the Don Bluth movies from there, and I think that's part of why they were so special to me because they were like a special treat. and I didn't get to watch them every day, and I would like rent them like 50 fucking times. And then like when Blockbuster started taking over and those mom and pop video stores were like harder to find, a lot of Blockbusters didn't really have the Don Bluth movies that I liked, like especially Rockadoodle, like the obscure ones.
Right.
So like, it kind of became this like thing of like, oh, there's like an old movie store closing down. I gotta like snatch up as many Don Bluth movies as I can.
I gotta get my copy of Rockadoodles and
where can I watch it? Like you can, like at the time there wasn't YouTube, so it was like this is my childhood, like it distilled into a movie. And if I can't get my hands on a copy of this movie, I will never see it again. Like it was like right, you know.
Totally.
And you know what? That feels like even relevant now too, because like you're talking about how, okay, so we're going from like the mom and pops that have all the different niche things, then to the Blockbusters, and then all those niche things disappear.
The corporate takeover and now we're
America. And now we're at a place where we're streaming.
It's like Disney too.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They made us get rid of all of our DVDs and VHSs because we were told it's obsolete, and now we can't find any of this stuff online. Like I don't think we can find all the Don Bluth movies online.
No,
maybe just like Anastasia.
You have to like watch it on TikTok now.
Literally.
In like clips,
or you have to watch it on YouTube in like 18 parts because like some awesome person is like part 1 of 19, Pebble and the Penguin, and you're like.
So, like, what is it about the Don Bluth movies specifically that you find more tantalizing?
Well, the animation is like so beautiful. Like,
it's
how
stunning.
Do it?
Okay, so he also, fun fact, animated the game Dragon's Lair from the early 80s.
Yeah, I saw that.
And someone on Reddit was like, oh my gosh, the way he animated like the princess's dress in Dragon's Lair was like the most sparkly magical dress I had ever seen. And that's like what I posted something on my story the other day about in Thumbelina, the Golding of the Leaves scene where the sparkles are so beautiful.
The wings.
Yeah, the wings. The way those wings
How about
move?
the ring? The ring?
And the way, also not even just the sparkles, it's a sparkle and he creates this like aura glow.
Yeah. It's like all lighting in general. It's like it's giving Caravaggio.
Yes.
And also he does this really beautiful thing with like dewy like drops of water where it looks like real water. And like I have to tell you, as far as like getting like tattoos of like your favorite cartoons, these are like the most tattooable, gorgeous. Like, have you ever seen like a Don Bluth fish? I'm like, that's the most gorgeous girl I've ever seen. Who is she?
That's from we watched the Xanadu animation.
He animated the animation in Xanadu. I lost my damn mind. What a perfect thing to bring up for Pride, Hannah. The Xanadu.
Oh my God. Happy Pride, everyone. Like, for real.
No, I can totally see, and I agree. Like, there is something about the Don Bluth movies that feels like a little more adult. Like, it's almost like they were made for adults, and we were also there. Because they're really heavy, like you said, really heavy fucked topics for kids sometimes. But there is something alluring about it because you're also like, there's a darkness here that feels real to me as a little kid, and like, what is this about?
It was like dark and like a little bit sexy at times. And I think as a kid, I was like, I don't know if I should be watching this, but it's a kid's movie. So like rock and roll, like let's rock a doodle. Let's freaking do it. You know, let's rock a do it.
Right.
And you know what's funny is he used to be a Disney animator, but he like split from Disney over like artistic differences. And I think it's because he was like, I want to like animate some dark, like kind of fucked up kids movies. And Disney was like, we're literally Disney. And he was like, okay, you can try making the Black Cauldron without me. Like it will not be as good. And I'm just saying the proof is
I feel like this might be a stretch, but I feel like The Lion King is a little bit of like a Don Bluth. Like, let's try to do what he does.
Cheater brand.
Especially because when I was watching like compilations of like how he deals with like food and liquid. It's like amazing. But then like it reminded me of the scene in the Lion King where he like does the fruit. And it was like they were trying to pull that off, and it is dark like a Don Bluth movie in a way.
Oh my God, it's Don Bluth coded.
Interesting.
Right? Like, I don't know.
It is Don Bluth code. DB coded.
But like, that leads me to ask, like, were you able to watch these movies more than once as a kid?
Yeah, so many times.
Because like that's wild to me. That's like incredible. Because like All Dogs Go to Heaven.
They're heavy.
Like, oh, I wanted to like jump off a bridge. Fox and the Hound, like these movies like ruined my life. Land Before Time, like awful.
In Land Before Time, when like little
Fievel goes west.
When Littlefoot sees his shadow and he thinks it's his mom and it's his own shadow. And as someone who like as an adult lost my mom, I was like, that is the most fucked up shit I have ever fucking seen. But I feel like, okay, All Dogs Go to Heaven, I would just watch the first half like on a loop because the first half was really fun, and watching Anne-Marie eat those waffles that looked so fucking good.
The waffles. Yeah. The syrup is like gooey gloppy and buttery. Like,
does he take inspiration from like Japanese stuff?
It has to, right?
Right.
I mean, it's giving like the
or even
breakfast scene. Yeah.
It could also be because he really did start like early Disney, like in the 1950s and stuff, right? Like it could even be that like he's part of the lore of even anime. Like it could be even like preceding. I mean, not necessarily I'm saying he preceded anime, but I'm like saying they probably influence each other.
Right.
Because it really feels that way. I totally agree. Like we were watching some clips from All Dogs Go to Heaven, and there is like a Howl's Moving Castle-ness to like the kind of goopy. It really, I think he does better than what Disney does. Is he creates an ambiance. That's something I've noticed. It's like maximalism, like in the backgrounds.
Yes, he's like a curator of vibes. Like I was watching Thumbelina the other night to go to bed when I was drunk, and the little cottage that Thumbelina's mom lives in, like, she goes to sleep in a walnut shell, and then
it's so cute.
It's so fucking cute.
It's so cute.
And then Cornelius shows up and she's like, oh my God, like you literally are breaking and entering. I'm kind of scared. And she hides in a fucking teapot. It is the cutest shit I've ever seen.
Hannah,
I love Thumbelina.
The bee
Busby?
That he pulls up on.
That's so hot.
Yeah, she rides the bee.
Sorry,
it's so hot.
Like, he rolls
if a guy rolls up on a fucking bee, a bumblebee.
And his mom is
fluffy
like,
daddy.
Fluffy daddy.
His mom's like not into it. She's like, I keep telling him like to like stop with the bee. And it's like, Cornelius is a fucking rebel. And you know what? Cornelius walked so that Dmitri could run. And everyone, this is what annoys me too.
Yep.
Anastasia is a Don Bluth movie.
Yeah.
And that was
correct.
The only like real hit of his career. And now because of this whole fucking like Disney, Fox, whatever the fuck acquisition, everyone's like, Anastasia's a Disney princess now. And I'm like, okay, but yeah, sure, technically, like semantics, but like
not technically.
She's not a Disney princess.
That was like an actual like thing in the 90s, if we do recall. Like she's not a Disney princess.
And I'm like,
she's actually not a princess.
She's
not
That's like the point.
Literally, she's not a princess. She's all of us.
She's a grifter. She was like, have you heard? There's a rumor in St. Petersburg.
Rasputin has a bat. That's amazing.
Yeah. She's like,
how is the bat? Is the bat played by what's his name? Hank Azaria, who is high key, low key in every movie.
He's so good.
He's everywhere. He can't be stopped.
He's everywhere.
He literally can't be stopped.
Hold on, I have a digression. Did I ever tell you the story, Alaina? And I don't know if I've told it on the podcast before, Hannah, of when I saw Hank Azaria in Soho with my sister and I was wasted.
Yeah.
We're wasted, right? We pull out. It's the middle of the night, and we see Hank Azaria like walking. I was like, he must have gone for a run at like 12 p.m.
He's
and we just kept yelling Hank Azaria at him, and every time we did it, he would turn around and wave. And he was so nice, and he would just be like, "That's me." Like we're like Hank Azaria, and he would just be like, and it was like just this back and forth moment with Hank Azaria in Soho. So I feel like we have a thing.
In certain cultures, you're married now.
It's in bar talk culture, in the Don Bluth culture, that's marriage.
You know what's so iconic about Anastasia, and honestly, like all of Don Bluth's movies make me feel this way, but especially Anastasia, when like the score is so fucking good that it makes you like feel like, oh my God, we made so many new friends. Can we just like start this over? And specifically at the end of Anastasia, when they do the thing where they show all the characters and who did their voice, it's like Angela Lansbury, Meg Ryan, and they're showing all them. There is nothing.
Meg Ryan, by the way.
Oh my God.
Sorry to interrupt you. Sorry.
Right? Yeah. No, please always interrupt me for Meg Ryan, please. I just need more movies to do that thing where at the end they like show the character and who played them, because it really makes us feel like we bonded as a community over watching this movie and we're all like a family now.
Right. Like at the end of Mamma Mia 2, when the old and the young come together and they're like, these both are hairy.
Oh my God, the Super Trooper moment.
Yeah.
Yes, I think all movies need that like Super Trooper moment at the end where it's like, it's like the cast.
Like we did it, Joe.
Like when the curtain call. We did it, Joe.
I can't believe that as a theater kid, I've never put together that the reason that makes me feel so safe and happy is because it's a curtain call on film.
Yeah.
And you have to acknowledge
the two theater kids.
And then on the finale night, the president of the drama club comes out and goes, "We just want to give flowers to our director,
Oh my
Mr.
God.
Like, it's just so
and you
embarrassing.
Have to give a standing
and
ovation, otherwise you're an asshole. Like if you're in the audience.
Yeah, it's a bunch of kids.
Yeah, they're like.
And then afterwards, the kids all go out to like the lobby of whatever middle school that this has been performed at, and you're like,
and then like, are we going to Applebee's?
Yeah,
Applebee's.
Are we going to Bennigan's, you guys? Are we going to Bennigan's?
Ooh, Bennigan's. Was it Bennigan's for you?
Bennigan's for sure. Or Denny's.
Yep, we used to. Ooh, Denny's is a classic. And those waiters would see all of our fucking white eyebrowed asses walking in, and they would be like, "Oh my God, it's a cast." It's the cast of Annie Jr. And they're
oh my God.
I think of something more like demoralizing as like a server than having to wait on high school theater kids. Like the cast of Cats comes in, like the high school cast of Cats at the local high school, and like everyone has full ass whiskers on their face, and they're like, "Hey dude," there's like the one like, you know, straight guy from sports who decided he wanted to do theater. He's like, "Hey man, can I get a grand slam? Can I get a grand slam?"
A grand slam.
Always
He's
that.
somehow bulking. A gaggle of theater kids is like my biggest nightmare.
Honestly, same.
Yeah.
I find it intimidating also.
And I grew up in it, and I still am like, no, because they're a powerful group.
Yeah.
And they have a lot of manifestation happening. I'm not going to get in the way of whatever their, soul journeys are. I got to let them
gatekeeping too.
Yeah,
I'm like
absolutely
pursuing a
are.
career in acting, and I still like actors need to stop fucking gatekeeping. It's like, oh, like where'd you get your headshots done? They're like, yeah, it's a new person.
I mean, it's a dog eat dog world out there, isn't it? It's cutthroat as hell.
You know what? I actually just to kind of snowball on that, Hannah. Whenever people want to gatekeep like what's technically like a small business or a small working artist, like a photographer or a headshot photographer, you better tell people about your favorite small businesses, small working people, because if you don't, they might not be there to take your headshots in 5 years when you've aged out of them. So you better step your pussies up and not gatekeep actors.
That's a really good point.
I'm so glad we had this conversation because this needs to be said.
You need to tell them. They need to know.
Justice for headshot photographers.
Real.
Justice for headshot photographers. Oh my God, wait, we should all find like our oldest headshots and like I'll post them on the post for this. That'd be so funny. Yeah, send me your oldest one.
I could send you my worst one for sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Send us all the ones that are the mentionables. Send the mentionables. Okay. Send the unmentionables if you can.
So can you set the stage for us? Like your little Hannah Brown with your Don Bluth from Lion Video.
Yeah.
In your head. Nice. Were you in your headgear? Or was it like pre-headgear that you were watching, or did it span your entire adolescence into adulthood? Like, did you take a break? How did this help form you?
I took a break. No, I watched them when I was really, really little in the Lion Video days. And then like, I want to say like junior high, I like found a video store that was going out of business, bought them all, and just like would rewatch them. Like I would stay home from school because I hated junior high so much. I was very badly bullied, and I would just stay home and like watch Don Bluth movies like over and over and over.
Why were people like, what is like everyone's fucking problem?
Because kids are fucking cunts, and not in a good way.
They really are so mean. They're so mean.
You know what? Kids are reflections of what's going on at home.
That's true.
And so we can just say their parents are also assholes.
Yeah.
or they're just not parenting them at all. They're neglecting them, like Teeny's parents. But Teeny turned out okay.
Right.
Wait, I wanted to bring up something about Thumbelina. Because we were talking about the fact that she rides a bumblebee and she lives in she sleeps in a walnut. And I don't know if you guys have seen bumblebees and or walnuts, but they're smaller than thumbs. And I'm wondering if she maybe has a name that would be more accurate.
She would have to be like
she's like not even Pinkalina. She's like something even small. She's must be like tiny. Like you know, like the baby in a king cake is a monster compared to her.
What a reference.
Yes.
I'm always thinking of king cake.
That's the Mardi Gras cake, right?
Yes.
Oh, it's always Mardi Gras. It's always Mardi Gras around these parts.
Wait, Hannah, you're from the Midwest, right? What part are you from?
But like, to be fair, I'm from like 30 minutes outside of Chicago. Like, I'm not from like,
Okay, but
it's not Mount
there's
Rose,
Chicago.
It's Illinois, yeah.
No.
Illinois, okay.
But so do people have that accent where you're from?
Not where I'm from. Like where I'm from, it's more like, oh my God, the Sox suck this season.
Is it like Da Bears?
Yeah.
Chicago.
Like the South Side Chicago people, like any of the South suburbs, like all have that like, oh my God. But then like in Wisconsin where my family and I would like rent a cabin every summer, it was a lot more like, sometimes it was like kind of Mount Rose, and then other times it would get like a little like Southern, like a little, like almost like a draw, it was kind of weird. It's like unplaceable. Yeah.
I find that extremely interesting. I love all the accents. And wait, speaking of accents, one other thing I did want to bring up was you do one of my favorite Ramona Singer impressions.
Oh my God, I do?
Yeah, you do. It is really
like
good.
A complete digression from Don Bluth, but you do one of my favorite Ramona Singer impressions. Because you used to do all like the videos doing all the impressions of the housewives. R.I.P. to like the old school housewives, by the way. Like we completely lost New York and everything. But yeah,
what do you think
I had
happened
to call
there?
that out.
So nice.
What do you think happened there
with New York?
Yeah,
I think so like my friend Troy McEady, who hosts Beyond the Blinds, he made a really good point. He was like, Real Housewives of Orange County and Beverly Hills have had like years of flop seasons, like years, like 5 years of flops, and then they'll have a good season. And he's like, New York had like 1, maybe 2 bad seasons, and they were like, fuck it, we got to throw the whole thing out and start over. And it's just like, why?
Right.
Why?
Yeah.
I know.
I mean,
I feel like we still had good material there that we could have worked with. We could have reconfigured old cast members. Like,
I think it was Ramona. I think she was like,
she was a menace.
Really the squeaky wheel. Yeah, menace.
Speaking of Ramona, I mean, she was like, I will not do the show if we're going to be doing anything woke. I won't be doing it.
Sorry, that's not what I signed up for. I don't want to do it.
Have you ever encountered her in real life?
Oh, no, thank God. I don't think I could. Like, I'm afraid of her.
We saw her from a distance, and it was scary. It was at the Javits Center, which was already scary.
Are you familiar with the Jacob K. Javits Center in Massachusetts?
I've heard of it, but I know nothing.
New York.
What is it?
It's literally this huge convention center in Midtown, like on the highway, where like every drag con, all the cons in Manhattan, that's kind of where they do it. And we were there for a tabletop show. We had a booth, and it's like basically like all home goods and stuff like that. And so all of a sudden we see this woman come around the corner, and she's got heels that are like, her toes are over the top. She's like walking out of them, and she's just like,
did she have a wine? I think she had a wine.
Yeah, and she was absolutely like, I saw her and I was like, I will never approach that woman. No. She's a wild animal. Yeah. She scared me. Her energy. It was like, it's like a 800,000 square foot place, and I could feel her energy in the whole thing. She's batshit crazy. I mean, it's outrageous.
No, she's so scary.
Good for her, I guess.
Also, nothing will make me like sick to my stomach or like trigger me faster than like toes clinging for dear life to a shoe. Like
just like
when Kristen Doty walked up to the house in her Nike slides, her foot was like clinging to the sandal in a way that I couldn't understand it.
I was like, who is this gremlin? I like forgot that she was going to be on the show, and I was like, is this like, who is? I thought it was like fucking, I don't even know. Sorry.
It was so weird. I'm actually so glad you brought up Vanderpump, because I actually have been dying to talk about it with you, because you, like us, are a historian. You're an anthropologist. You're just here to study, human beings through the lens of Vanderpump Rules, just like we are. And when I saw Kristen Doty come out after the season that we've been put through, it was like almost like I wanted to cry, like it was like an auntie I haven't seen in a while. Like I wanted skin to skin contact just to like feel like it could heal something.
You wanted to hold her foot?
And it did. She did like some like hilarious like fake witchery, which I'm obsessed with. Yeah. I love it. If it feels real, it's real. Who am I to say it's fake?
Effect. Like,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But she's just like, and now you're gonna do this, and then so it is.
Yeah.
Like,
it was, and big, and so it is energy. Like when she's like, and you're gonna write something that you want to like pursue, and Ariana was like, self-acceptance, and Kristen in the background, you hear her go, I love that.
You can't write it.
So good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Oh my God. It's really unbelievable. It's a fucking 10-year story arc. Like, in what world do we get? I was like telling Jocelyn, I was like, is this like the movie Boyhood? Like, this is crazy.
Yes, it literally is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was giving Boyhood. I know. I wonder, it's so funny too, because I wonder if, because I would say that the audience is largely millennial for Vanderpump, even, you know, the Housewives in general, Bravo in general. And there is like this level of like glitz and glam and then darkness that is associated with it. And I wonder if being primed with things like Don Bluth movies growing up, where it's like the glitz and the glam of it all. Thumbelina, she's the princess, she's a that, but the darkness and like the drama.
She's a professional.
Unbelievable.
Diane Sawyer, look out.
But these are the not our girl. But literally, when you think about like that concept has been juxtaposed for our generation so much, where it's like, hi, here's the worst thing that you can think of. A dog is going to die and it's going to go to heaven and then it's going to come back and save a little girl and not know if it's going to go to heaven. It might go to hell. But then it's like, at the same time, you're like, and then here's her brand new pretty mommy and her house and her dress and this. So
waffles,
it's literally like priming us for trauma and disaster, but make it look cute.
That's
like,
literally
it's crazy.
Bravo. Oh my God.
That's right. Yeah. And it's like, and that's also like kind of, even with Disney movies, maybe Disney does it in a more like sterile way, I want to say. Yes. Slightly more delicate. Although, Alaina, good point with the scar of it all.
I don't know. I feel like, I mean, all these movies I thought that they put us through were like pretty egregious.
Fox and the Hound is the saddest thing I've ever seen. Like, I
can't even fathom
I won't watch it. Like, I won't.
Yeah.
It is. And he was an animator on that one, right? I think that The Fox and the Hound might be like one of the most traumatic things from my childhood. I can't with like pets and stuff.
I know.
It's too much. With animals, I can't do it. I can stomach, you know, like the Thumbelinas of it all, but I cannot. And Anastasia, I actually like love Anastasia kind of.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
I'm not gonna lie.
Are you
the
kidding?
music is really so
good. You think that's like a hot take? Do people not like Anastasia?
No, people like it. I don't know why.
No, people like Anastasia. I don't know why I said it like it was a hot take.
I would be concerned if you didn't. It's like a perfect movie.
No, it's perfect, and like the music is so good to the point where they literally made a Broadway musical about it and like kept some of the songs.
Yeah,
like they're like, we're just gonna keep the
also
songs.
Speaking of Sparkles, Don Bluth Sparkles. I mean, this is a podcast about Don Bluth Sparkles at this point, but like the scene where Dmitri's like so fucking hot. And when Dmitri sees Anastasia at the opera and she's in that sparkly navy dress with like the cape and the gloves, and he sees her and the look in his face is like, damn. And she's like, oh, me? And she looks so beautiful in that sparkly ass dress and the sparkles. I'm telling you, the crowns in that movie, the crowns. Yeah.
It's crazy.
The crown work.
It's a master class in highlighting.
For real.
Blending too.
He was not afraid to use a little bit of white.
Yeah, wait, what's the story? Yeah. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I did quickly. Just like I was like, I gotta know more about this fellow that we're gonna talk about. Apparently, one of the things he got into a fight with Disney about was they weren't drawing in the whites of the eyes on something, and they were like, it's too expensive. Yes, and he was like, was it for Fievel?
I think so. Yeah,
it was something like that. And it was like the whites of the eyes, they didn't want to draw them in. And he's like, we need to do it. It just adds. And they're like, we don't have the money for it. And he's like, that's bullshit. And he like did a thing where he figured out there was no price difference. So he left.
What a slay.
Yeah.
Don't you love that?
It's like, I'm sorry, if we're going
to do it, we're going to do it right. And apparently he also worked a lot with, speaking of dark things, but he worked a lot with Spielberg.
Right.
And in Fievel, or what's it, an American Tale? It's two movies, isn't it? Apparently there's like a scene where the mouse goes up and like sees the class. You know, like he can't be in the class with the other kids. And I guess that was a story of Steven Spielberg's family from the Holocaust. And I'm like, these movies are truly like showing you some dark references. Like they really are trying to teach us the history and empathize. We're very empathetic
through pets and critters.
Generation.
Through some cute ass critters with cute little hats and
sparkles.
Shoes.
Yeah.
And sparkles. Yeah.
And now look at us. We're like the doggo generation.
Yeah. Right.
We're like upset.
Yeah.
What did they fucking expect? That's my thing. Like, I look at all this shit that they sold us and they think that we're like empathetic losers now. Like, relax.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally.
Like, you did this.
We were raised on trauma, and then we all had to deal with 9/11. Like, I mean, like, we millennials had
like,
a fucking...
while I was like literally menstruating.
It has to come up. 9/11 has to come up.
Because as a millennial, it's like, oh, that was pre 9/11 or post 9/11. Like, it's just like what...
It's how we measure time.
Literally.
Absolutely.
It's a measure
like, there
of
was
time.
like a shift in the universe.
And Don Bluth movies were like, I feel like it was always like, you're not fully safe in the world. And then in the end, it's like, but if you find the right people, it could be pretty okay. And so we get raised on that.
Yeah.
That's a great message.
Yeah.
You're so right, Hannah. That's a really good point. I actually think I like, now that I'm thinking about it, because at first I was like, oh my God, these Don Bluth movies are so dark and traumatic. But in a way, I like that they don't lie to us as much. They're more honest than like a Disney movies can be liars.
I mean, Disney
you know
movies
what I mean?
are fucking
like
propaganda, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. These are more, I find them to be more storytelling and more referential to like old tales and things like that.
A little bit darker.
Like fables almost.
Mm-hmm.
Fables, or what is it? What are the two, the brothers that wrote? The Brothers Grimm.
Or like Hans Christian Andersen.
Grimm. Yeah, like how dark were those tales for kids?
Everyone like died in those. It was like, oh, the Little Mermaid like wants a man. Well, guess what? She ended up becoming foam on the ocean because she left her family. Like the end is actually really fucking sad.
Right. What happens to her? She becomes foam? Is that what happens?
I think she like becomes sea foam.
Like the rest of us.
Like I remember like people reading I remember people reading, like, not people, I mean teachers, reading Brothers Grimm stories to us and being like, in high school and being like, I'm too young for this. Like, they're so scary.
So scary.
They're like, and then her legs fell off and she had to eat them because she was a witch, actually.
This was Massachusetts,
but she was an orphan witch. But literally, the Brothers Grimm stories are horrifying.
Yeah.
I bet if we went back in time, as we just go back generation and generation, it's just like the darker and darker materials for children. That's like what it is. And now they have like Bluey. Now the kids are like, Bluey.
Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
I'm like, I would like Paw Patrol, please.
Yeah.
Instead, we had like, Homeward Bound.
Don't even.
Stop it right now.
I shouldn't have said it.
I'm like gonna get upset.
You know what I heard? I heard about the most fucked up thing. I feel like someone told it to me and they had read it on Reddit. And it was how, like, in Homeward Bound, there's, like, a theory, like, a fan theory, like, a conspiracy theory that Shadow actually, like, did die in the hole. And that he, like, it's, like, his ghost, like, coming to me.
It's so funny to, like, be upset about it now, like, how many years later when they're all definitely dead.
I know, but literally the minute you said it, I got.
I'm laughing though. So I laugh at it because I'm like, that's obviously so ridiculous. Shadow did make it out of the hole.
He's still alive.
He's alive to this day.
Now he's thriving in a retirement community.
Yes.
Not to be morbid, but every time I watch an old movie with a dog in it, I go, that dog died, and I get just like that.
But I still got to go to doesthedogdie.com.
Oh my! Wait, what's that?
If you, oh my God, Hannah!
If you ever,
every time we watch a movie
or a show,
Alaina,
the
please.
second an animal comes on screen, I go to doesthedogdie.com and I type in the movie or TV show, and it tells you exactly what happens if it does happen
and when
to anything,
so you can be prepared.
Like for example, that movie with Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas. I forget what it was called.
I missed it.
There was like a lot of like,
what's it called?
You don't, please don't even bring it up. But I'm bringing it up. There was like some like bug situation. Like someone was like really into bugs, and and like the dog. But there was a dog, so I looked it up. Does the dog die? And it was like no, but there are a lot of bugs.
That's the most incredible invention I've ever heard of in my life.
Yeah, check it out. It's like it's a lifesaver. Yes.
Does the dog die is the number one on our bookmark staff.
Totally.
Because you got to make sure. You got to be mentally prepared. Because if a pet goes in a movie, it'll throw me right out.
Yeah, I'll like literally fast forward through it.
Do you remember the first time you saw Fear with Mac Wahlberg? And they put the fucking dog's head through the dog door. And I'm like, you did not have to involve the dog in this. Like the dog did.
I hate it when they involve the dog.
Why did they do that?
It's so disturbing. I know. It
even
really
the bunny
is.
And Fatal Attraction is like too much for me.
We didn't need
the
that.
Bunny deserved better. Like, what did the bunny have to do with anything?
Yeah.
not for nothing, but did we also in Fear need the scene where he fingers her on the Ferris wheel? I think maybe yes.
You're like,
actually.
I would argue it was a cornerstone of all of our childhoods as millennials.
Yes. Yeah. The minute you said Fear, that's all I could think of. I was like, Ferris wheel scene.
That's how I learned.
I feel like I heard about that movie on like a VH1 like countdown of like, you know, like most salacious 90s movies or something like that. So I would just like make my friends watch these movies that they had never heard of. I'd be like, okay, guys, we're going to watch Fear tonight. Like,
Mark Wahlberg's in it.
Yeah, I'm like, Mark Wahlberg's in it. He's like super hot. I didn't know better at the time. And that scene came and we were all like, what the fuck is this movie? And it was like that in the crowd.
And isn't like Wild Horses by the Sundays playing as well? It's emblazoned into my mind.
They really knew how to get us.
And Reese Witherspoon was like so young. I was like, wow, she was so brave. I could have never like, even now I don't think I would like have the balls to do a scene like that. I would be like, no, stop.
Yeah. They really put those girls in the 90s through a fucking lot in movies.
Alyssa Milano in that movie. Like being like manhandled by like 50-year-old men.
Where they grab her butt.
I hate that part.
Hated that. It disturbed me so much.
They objectified us so young.
Speaking of Alyssa Milano and objectifying, just to bring it back, she is the model for The Little Mermaid, the original.
What?
Yep.
Her face was the animation model for Ariel. Isn't that crazy?
Slay. And you know what? To bring it back to Don Bluth, Jodie Benson did the voice of Thumbelina.
She did.
Yes. And also voiced Ariel. And everyone's like, oh my God, Jodie Benson, you're Ariel. And I'm like, she's Thumbelina. But like, okay.
She's like
deep cut. Yeah. She has like the most perfect princess voice acting. It's so crazy.
Okay. Did you see the new Little Mermaid?
No, have y'all?
No, we're waiting because we don't like to go to movie theaters ever since
I hate it.
The pandemic. I can't go.
I don't want to get shot.
Same. That's why I don't go.
I don't trust it.
I'm not kidding. Anywhere where I can't control my environment, I don't really want to be there. Which is
in the dark.
In the dark, I'm a sitting duck.
Crazy. Yeah.
With my back facing away from the door?
That's like insane.
No, thank you. No, not today.
I'm like, I will watch it on Disney Plus in the comfort of my home with some like fuzzy socks and it'll all will be well. But what I don't need is like Aquafina as Scuttle being like, hey, when's time? I'm going to do a rip scene. Like, have you seen
what is this chokehold that Aquafina has on Hollywood?
Enough.
What? I don't understand it. She's not particularly good.
I don't want to be someone who doesn't support women, Bethany, but I do not love Aquafina. I just don't think she's got the thing that people. I think is like, what do they call it? An industry plant? She's like,
she is
like I don't know what that means.
But like, I also do think like that whole way she talks in Nora from Queens is very problematic to me.
Yes,
because she doesn't actually talk like that. No. I know plenty of Asian people from Queens that talk like that in real life. Not just for a show.
But she's not one
of them.
Well, and then that's why on TikTok, everyone's like, okay, so like she's literally like speaking in a black accent, like appropriating black culture all the time. And now we're going to have her sing like a rap song as Scuttle. Like no one needs it.
She does a rap song as Scuttle?
Yes. She's like, what's up, everyone? I'm Scuttle. Ariel's doing some crazy shit. Like
no.
It's out of control.
We did not need that. Oh my God.
People paid money to go to the theater and see that.
No, don't risk it. Don't risk your life for the Scuttle. The Scuttle rap.
I'm also not here for the Ursula.
Okay. I on my podcast talk a lot of shit about Melissa McCarthy, and I'm sorry. It's like probably the most unlikable thing about me.
Go for it.
I just don't like
drop it on us.
I don't like that she can't.
I want to hear it.
She can't go to work without her husband. Like this is the first.
What the fuck is that?
What is it?
It feels to me very much like she has a parasite that will not let her succeed without him. And because of it, she won't push herself. I think she holds herself back for him.
I think so too. I'm shocked he didn't find his way into The Little Mermaid because I asked one of my friends who saw it, I was like, where the fuck was her husband? Because I know he was in it somewhere as like Flotsam and Jetsam or something.
Oh, he's probably just like,
he did her makeup.
Yeah.
He's the straight guy that did her makeup.
The hair and makeup. Okay.
And he was like, that's my impression of the makeup artist for Little Mermaid.
Apparently, somehow they found the one straight guy to do her makeup. It was like the key makeup artist or something.
I tried to talk shit about the Little Mermaid makeup like in a work environment the other day, and like some makeup artists were present, and they were like, "You don't have to be so like rude." And I was like, "Oh, I was trying to be rude and no one else got
What's
it.
everyone's fucking problem?
I'm sorry, but as a makeup artist who worked for many years as a makeup artist, we have to be able to critique a little bit because this is not good. And it's not the reference material. Like it's been posited that Hans Christian Andersen wrote The Little Mermaid as an allegory for his own homosexuality, that he wanted to be where the people were, that he had an unrequited love, ocean, blah, 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 whatever. So
there was like an ocean of homophobia between him and the man he loved.
Yeah, there's just like some people have posited that because of his own, closeted homosexuality, that this was sort of like a way for him to have like an allegory for homosexuality, like the Little Mermaid wanting to change or whatever. And I feel like then when we reference divine for the original Ursula, we should probably have somebody in that community or who understands that, do the makeup, perhaps?
Yeah. Well, it's last time you heard of a straight guy doing makeup. Well.
Literally.
Never.
Let's talk about it.
Actually, I don't know. Straight. I was going to say Marilyn Monroe had one, but I think his name was Whitey, but he was
straight in the 50s too, Jocelyn.
We were all straight in the 50s, okay?
Yeah. My husband modeled me sleeps in the downstairs. Jocelyn,
of course we have 2 bedrooms.
You have a wolf at the door, Jocelyn, just so you know.
Oh, is Molly at my door? Yeah. Should I go get her?
Can you get her?
Cute.
Okay, I'll leave you two to it for a second while I go grab Molly.
She's actually coughing on the rug now. Oh, who's this?
And I have a cat.
No fucking way.
That's Nora.
That's the best timing I've ever experienced. What a star.
She really is an icon, but like when I can't give her attention at her, like when I'm not on call, she gets really annoyed.
She like literally just intercepted your screen just now. It's oh my god, that's so funny.
Oh my god, she's so cute.
Literally,
look at her.
Our pets interrupted at the same time. So they think she was like 7 when I got her, and she's like, so that would make her like roughly 8 now.
Oh, so she's new in the house.
I've only had her for like a little over a year, like a year and a few months.
Have you had cats before?
I love her.
I had my cat Lillian for like 7.5 years. R.I.P. She was like my speaking of Homeward Bound, let's talk about it. Lillian literally was the cat where I'm like, might not be on this earth any longer if Lillian hadn't entered my life when she did. Not to like make it really depressing and dark, but like animals are like, I believe, like heaven sent. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Agreed.
So she passed away last year, but then I got Nora, and so it's
sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry to hear that. It's always so hard, but they're just like the best.
Luckily,
it's true. All dogs go to heaven. They're all angels.
We go. Don Bluth prepared me for that moment.
Yes.
Seriously.
It's true. It really, maybe in a way, like experiencing those. Sorry if you guys can hear Molly coughing.
She's
fine. She's just
it's not Landscaper Day. It's Molly coughing day.
Which is every day, actually.
But wait, what was I saying? I totally forgot.
That they helped us experience loss, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes, like it does kind of, it showcases loss. It kind of prepares you for that kind of vibe. And like, it's something to reference when you're going through it. You're like, okay, well, all dogs go to heaven. I'll see my dog again.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. Like it does. It's like all these, it maybe prepares us a little bit better than something like, The Little Mermaid. That's like, you know what? You should change yourself for a man.
Right. You should literally.
It was like not even that great.
Yeah, I know. Eric's like hot, but like pretty mid, like personality wise. He's no Dmitri.
No, his personality fucking sucks.
Yeah,
he is hot though.
Big mid personality. Sure. He's literally like, oh hi, thank you for saving me. Wait, this is Vanessa now. Wait, oh, it's you again?
Right.
Let's get married.
What the fuck was that? Also, I feel like, Don Bluth also really, I feel like, drove the point home that like you can choose your family. Like I feel like in all those movies you have like Land Before Time, they're like, where the fuck are our parents? I guess we'll just like make a family with our friends because we're children who like don't have our parents. Then you have Thumbelina that's like, there's nobody else like me in the world. This is so isolating and annoying. And then she like marries a fairy prince and like finds a bunch of like cute little critters just like her, and she like has her own fam. Then all dogs go to heaven. I mean, like Charlie and his friend Itchy or whatever the fuck his name is are like like gambling dogs, and they're like, we got nothing to live for. And then they meet a little girl and they're like, okay, we got to get our act together and eat pizza with these puppies. The pizza and All Legs Go to Heaven. Sorry.
The pizza looks so good.
Yeah, the pizza.
The pizza.
The pizza looks so good.
The pizza potty.
No one's ever done a cheese pull like Don Bluth.
No, I mean, you could argue that the cheese pull in a Goofy movie is also iconic. But honestly,
yes.
Fine.
The All Legs Go to Heaven pizza came first. It was source material.
Right.
Yeah.
So
it's cheater brand.
It's the OG pizza.
Bethany Frankel needs to be stopped. Someone needs to take her phone away.
A moratorium on the phone, please.
The fact that there was a time where Bethany Frankel was like my favorite housewife, I would have, as Ariana said to Tom Sandoval, I would have followed you anywhere. Like I really would have.
Oh,
right.
And how times have changed.
Oh my God.
And then she got on the internet and started taking these hot takes about really female artists that were just misogynistic.
Her takes are obviously.
But that's the problem with like getting too attached to these like, you know, Gen Z boomer ladies is that they have the worst, most misogynistic takes, like Lisa Vanderpump, like who I've never liked.
Oh my God.
Like, what is this fucking bitch's problem? Get with the times. Like, I can't.
Are we gonna find out this week what the reveal is from the season that we're all gonna? I think it's gonna be also too. I think Lisa, like you said, Alaina before, I think she knew about it almost the whole time, and I think she was probably planning with Tom how they were going to like produce a little bit, because I feel like she knew.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think that she knew and was like planning with Tom to like produce the 11th season and like have a storyline and like have it play out. And then Ariana found out, and that's like why another reason why he was mad is because she didn't go along with it.
Because she usually goes along with it. He's cheated on her a bunch of times. I don't think she didn't know. I think she knew. I think she just covered for him.
She's in denial. She's like,
And I think at this point, she just wasn't going to cover for him. And I think he was literally surprised by that.
Yeah.
And that's why he was mad at her.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, as Tom Girardi once said, it's one of my favorite quotes.
Other Tom.
He said to Lisa Vanderpump, "You're an alligator."
You're an alligator.
Under the water, waiting to strike, or whatever the fuck he said. And like,
talking about projection.
Come on, isn't that wow? That's dark.
Yeah.
Narcissists always tell on themselves.
What happens when there's a bunch of narcissists on a network?
Wow, it's almost like they hire them on purpose.
I know, right?
Right? They're like, can you take this personality disorder test for us?
And they look at the results and they go, perfect. And then they send over the contract. They're like,
Dodie, she's full borderline. Get her on.
Right?
Give her some Nike slides.
Oh my God.
The cameras.
Like, she's going to need a foot surgery at some point.
She has no arches. I think that's the issue.
I mean,
it happens.
Look at us diagnosing foot problems on Bravo.
You know,
my feet are killing me.
Yeah.
Have you seen My Feet Are Killing Me on TLC?
Yes.
Oh my! First of all, the most beautiful woman besides you ladies is on that show. Dr. Ebony is the most, and she's dealing with the most disgusting feet you'll ever see in your whole life. You gotta watch it.
It's basically like Dr. Pimple Popper, but for feet.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Dr. Pimple Popper. I'm disgusting.
Yeah. No, it's.
I love skin disorders.
No, me too.
Yeah. You tell her when we're at your dad's house.
Oh my God. Wait, so we went to my dad's and they had gone to bed super early. And so it was like 8:00 and we're like, all right, I guess we're going to do what? We're in like South Carolina. We don't even know what to do. So we're super high and we're watching. We couldn't find the remote, but the TV was on TLC and it was playing like a marathon of Dr. Pimple Popper. And the two of us are just sitting there like melted on the couch. And like 5 episodes in, Alaina looks at me and goes, this is fucking disgusting. And like, never have I laughed so hard in my life because it took us like several episodes to even say anything to the other person. So like, it was like so much necrotizing flesh that by the 5th episode, she just turns to me and goes, "This is fucking disgusting."
Newsflash. True show is disgusting.
Isn't it amazing how like we can get ourselves into those like kind of almost like hypnotized trances of something? Yeah. And you're just like, what am I watching? Yeah. And it's been all of a sudden your For You page on Instagram is a bunch of pimples being popped. Yes. And then that's me.
I don't know that I could watch a show though called My Feet Are Killing Me.
That's how you, that's like that's how you say it.
That's how you say it.
Do you ever like read a podcast review or like any sort of review where you just imagine what their voice is? Like I was reading a review for Ilia like skin serum or whatever, and people were like, It's just people complaining. They're like, I just can't deal with the smell. Because the things they complain about they're so impassioned over something that I'm like, okay, then just don't use it. They're like, I can't with all the ads. Every 2 minutes it's ads.
Oh my God, it's always the ads, isn't it?
They're so mad about the ads. They're like, if I wanted to listen to ads all the time, I would just watch TV. This podcast is ridiculous.
Right.
It used to be good. Like, they get so mad.
They get so mad. No, reading reviews is one of my favorite pastimes. And there is a type of review that exists en masse around, a lot on Amazon, a lot around, and it's husbands leaving reviews for their wives. And I'm not sure if it's actually husbands leaving reviews or if it's women of a certain age using their husband's account, Amazon account, and saying, I got this for my wife and I bought this skirt for my wife and she loves the fit. I'm like, there was no way that Ron wrote this. You wrote that, Donna, and I fucking know you did. Like, it's there. If you guys go on Amazon and just search through the comments on any female-focused product, there's going to be like, I bought this for my wife, and she absolutely raves. I'm like, you did not write that. There is no way that a man who can't find his own penis hole is writing a review for a sports skirt on Amazon. A women's slide. You're not writing that. I don't buy it for a second.
She absolutely loves it.
Yes. I bought this denture cleaner for my wife, and she absolutely her breath smells beautiful.
I personally do not have dentures. Thank you for asking.
Oh my God. And then the pièce de resistance of all reviews is the reviews of the sugar-free gummy bears on Amazon.
My God, yeah, if you're ever having a bad day.
I need to be writing all this
literally
down.
No, this is like laugh out loud funny.
It's literally just like thousands of people collectively choosing to have massive diarrhea.
Yep.
With whatever kind of fake sugar they're using in these gummy bears. And one time I got them because I had to see, and they're not lying to you.
No, so my older brother was like very image conscious, so he like didn't eat sugar for like his entire adult life, and he ate so many sugar-free gummies, cookies, like those break off cookies we would like make, and he would eat like the entire like tray of them and then just like spend the entire night like exploding in the bathroom.
Shit.
It's the best.
Look
into it.
Isn't it weird that we do that to ourselves?
One time I did an Arbonne cleanse that was like, it was like a syrup that you put in like water. I know, mistake number one, using anything from Arbonne. And
right.
And I was like, well, I'm getting headshots soon. Maybe I could, this was in like 2016. I was like, maybe I could just go on a little cleanse and, thin out my face in 5 days. And after 1 day of using it, I'm not kidding, I shit blood and I couldn't go to work.
I couldn't go to work.
I was like waiting tables at the time. I was like, I can't come in.
Oh my God.
No, absolutely not. It's crazy the things that we've done to ourselves. Like, even though like I know Diet Coke absolutely hurts my stomach, I won't stop it.
Okay, you don't drink alcohol either though, Jocelyn. Like, you have to have something. Like,
no.
I know, right?
I have to have something. I know. I do.
Treat.
And I have a lot of things.
I know. I mean, me too. But alcohol is also one of my things. So like, you have one less thing.
I know. But you know what? The thing about me and alcohol is like I've had every one of the alcohols.
Yeah, we had all of it.
So it literally got to the point where I was like, I did that.
I can't believe there's any left.
I did it a lot.
Right?
The way that Alaina and I stopped drinking is so funny because we literally like just stopped just like for like a little and then just like kept going, and it's been like 5.5 years.
5.5 years? So pre-pandemic, you were already like, we're fucking done.
Yes.
Which is so good because like who knows what we would have gotten into.
We would have died. If we were drinking when we went into the pandemic, I'm sure we would be dead.
Oh my God. Right? I'm so happy you're both living.
Yes, living.
We're living.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, Hannah, this has been so much fun chatting with you. We're going to have to do this again. God. This was so fun. I loved, like, it was such a blast from the past to go through Don Bluth and, like, look at all this stuff and, like, kind of, like, put context to it. It's just, like, so true, so accurate. And now, like, I'm going to be looking for, I'm probably going to want to watch Anastasia, Alaina, so just brace yourself.
No, I'll watch Anastasia. It's the other ones that I, It's
they're
like,
too emotional.
it's like they're Don Bluth movies exist in a pocket, like, for a reason. It's like, good and bad to me. Like, it's kind of a bittersweet thing because like they are so beautiful, but they are so painful,
Totally.
Which is like, you can't have one without the other, really.
Yeah. I would say Anastasia is like the happiest one. And like, aside from the insanely dark nightmare that she has where her family turns into monsters, when she's on the boat and almost jumps off the boat into the ocean. Other than that, like, and the train accident's not good. And there's any scene with Rasputin trying to kill her is like not great, but the rest of it's like super fun. Like she goes on a shopping spree in Paris.
Right.
Yeah, that's
and the fact that her entire family was killed. It's like whatever. Neither here nor there.
The first 30 seconds, you forget that it even.
And that was like that happened in real life too. So like, who cares?
Yeah, literally.
Neither here nor there.
Rip.
Whose Monarch family hasn't been killed?
Who gives a rip? Oh my God, Hannah, I love you. You're the best. This is so good. Hannah, tell everybody where they can find you and what you're working on and what we can see you in, and tell us all the things, all your socials.
Yeah, socials.
Tell us everything.
Oh my gosh, I love y'all. Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
A
thank
literal
you
blast.
for having me, even when I was laughing too hard to speak. Oh wow,
that's the best part.
That's why there's two of us.
Yeah. Wow, that was a Lisa Swinson laugh. Anyway. Y'all can follow me at Hannah A. Brown on Instagram and Twitter, Hannah A. Brown 0 on TikTok, where I do just unhinged random content. I have no social strategy. I just post what I want.
I love that.
It's the best.
It really is.
I love your content.
Thank you. It's so nice.
It's so relatable.
Thank you. And also check out my Gossip Girl recap podcast, You Know You Love Us, that I co-host with my dear friend Tyler Meredith. It's Gossip Girl recaps and then also just pop culture and whatever the fuck else we want to talk about. So check it out.
Right up our alley. We love it. Thank you so much for being our first guest. It's so exciting.
Woo-hoo.
And we'll see you guys next week. We love you, Candle Coven. And bye.
Bye.